Welcome to the Sustainable Success Show, where we share real-world ideas, strategies, and systems to help you build success that lasts in business and life. Each episode delivers practical insights you can apply immediately without burnout, chaos, or short-term fixes that don't scale. At the foundation is emotional intelligence and effective communication, how you lead yourself and how you connect with others across personalities, generations, and cultures, because that's where trust, engagement, and performance are created. I'm Christopher Salem, your host, and this is where sustainable success becomes your competitive advantage. Hi, welcome to the Sustainable Success Show. My name is Chris Salem, your host. If this is your first time here, welcome. Sustainable Success has been on the air now for over 9 years, and as we went to a new platform back at the beginning of this year, you can now watch Sustainable Success on video on our YouTube channel at Christopher R. Salem. That's Christopher R. Salem. And of course, you can listen to our show anytime on Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music. That's on Prime Music, as well as iHeart as well. So we encourage you to check out our show on all those channels, and feel free to listen to whatever suits you best. And again, we're always happy to, if you could share the show with people that you feel can get value. Each and every episode, we make sure to have a subject matter expert sharing their words of wisdom and insights to help elevate you and your business to the next level, the sustainable success way. Today's show is being brought to you today by Alumni Direct. Alumni Direct is a social media community platform dedicated to bringing alumni together from all different generational types and an opportunity to meet new people for the first time. Now, it is a membership program taking out all the noise out of social media. You get to generate genuine and authentic relationships with the people you choose to interact with. If you'd like some more information about Alumni Direct, check them out at alumnidirect.com. That's alumnidirect.com. Well, we got a great show for you today. As always, we're going to be talking about why the self-improvement loop keeps failing successful people. So we got to stop fixing and start seeing. Well, we got the right person to be sharing that information today. We're going to be talking with Ray Gage, and Ray has been helping successful people stop trying to fix themselves and start seeing the false premise underneath the striving, performance, and self-improvement loop. He's not a mindset coach. He's not a motivational speaker. He's not another voice in self-improvement loop telling your listeners how to become their best selves. He is something harder to find, a successful professional who followed the script, built a career, checked every box, and then had the honesty to ask why none of it felt like enough. What he found was not a better strategy, it was a false premise. The belief that everything we need is outside of us, that we have to perform, accumulate, and be measured against something to earn our place. He calls it the economy of striving, and now he is helping other successful see it for what it is. And his conversations land continuously in rooms around leadership, identity, reinvention, and the hidden cost of achievement. And he does not need a script to go deep. And without further ado, we welcome Ray Gage to the show. Ray, how you doing today?
Fantastic. That is a phenomenal introduction.
Thank you. I've been doing it a long time. So as a professional speaker, I've had a lot of practice over the 26 years I've been doing this. So it's been a long time. So I should be good at it at this point. But any event, I love this topic and what you're going to share on. And if you could kind of give us a little, maybe start off from your, own experience, about self-improvement, this loop or this premise that we've been led to believe, and why many successful people, keep, again, going back into the same old instead of, seeing it from a different way that you're going to share with us today.
It's really an interesting thought process, because when you say things like the economy of striving, when you say things like the self-improvement loop, you don't really have to explain what you mean. People feel it. Like they just, it's something that you just feel in your bones. You feel it in your soul. It's like it resonates.
Yeah.
And like it's almost like somebody is seeing what you've been feeling. You just didn't have a name for it yet.
Yeah.
And because when I talk to people and I bring those things up, it's almost like there's a look of recognition. on their face. Oh my gosh, like there's actually a name for this. And I can feel it. And most people who are honest with themselves will understand that they're in it. They know they're in it. They know they're exhausted, and they know that their exhaustion comes from being in the loop, but they don't know why they feel exhausted because they're in the loop, and they don't understand anything about how to get out of it. And so the people that are trying to, I preface this every time, and I think I preface that I preface this in every interview that I do, is that the people that are doing this to you, if you're looking at it that way, they're, for the most part, they're not really evil, right? They're not ill-intentioned. They're in it too.
Yeah.
So they're in the loop as well. And so how do you have someone who is stuck in the loop explain to you how to get out of it?
Shit. There's a lot of that. Believe me, I've come across that firsthand. Have seen it. I guess that's my intuition. Being in business a very long time, so you get smarter over the years.
And I think it lends to the Einstein, the quote that's attributed to Einstein, which is part of a letter I think that he wrote to the government on the Oppenheimer project, that said, "You can't solve a problem with the same thinking with which it was created."
Yeah.
And I didn't, there you can see that, and you can hear it, and you can think of different applications for it, but I don't know that I ever really saw it for what the true meaning might actually have been until recently, as I was thinking about what we just said. Like, we're trying to solve the problem from within the problem. It's like we're using the thing that generated the problem to try to solve it. And I can explain like how frameworks work and things like that. And I'll give you one that a lot of people probably, whether they realize it or not, they experience it every day.
Yeah. Please
And
do.
I was in insurance for years. And I would say somewhere around 1999 to 2003, right in that range, insurance companies started charging you more or less based on your credit, your personal credit. And what they would do is they would go, the credit companies like Equifax would go into the insurance companies, and they would evaluate their book of business. And then they would score all of the customers within the book, and based on the claims that the insurance company had, they would decide who should have been paying more based on the credit in relation to the claims. Now, that all sounds well and good, but the thing that I didn't realize until later, and that most people don't understand, and then I'm going to tie this into what we're talking about, this perpetual loop, is at one point in time, and there's probably more now, but about 5 years into that process, I found out that they had the credit companies had 17 different models.
Wow.
So if an insurance company A called them up and said, "Hey, we want you to come in and evaluate our book," they had 17 different models that they could plug in, because they would sell them the one that made the most sense based on that insurance company's book of business. Now, if the model worked, you wouldn't need 17. It would just work. The same thing happens in the self-improvement, leadership development, personal development space. There's how many different frameworks out there? You have to take an assessment. The assessment tells the industry which framework works for you. Okay, so I take that framework, I make a little bit of an improvement in area A or area B. Now I take another assessment. Now there's another framework. And I just keep doing that over and over and over and over. And wonder why I can't ever get out of that loop. Somebody has to convince me that there's something wrong with me, that there's something outside of me that I need to fix it because I'm not quite enough. And that's the belief that underlies all of this. If I didn't think that there was anything outside of me that was missing, what could you sell me?
Yeah.
So because I believe that, and really that's the plight of the human race.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
We're not saying that like hopefully no one's listening to this and smashing their head against the wall and thinking how bad of a person they must be. This is all of us.
Exactly. Yeah. You shouldn't feel isolated. I totally agree.
So that's really there's simple and easy are not the same thing. Right? It's really simple to understand why you're caught in the loop. It's not necessarily easy to get out of it. But the same person that puts you in can get you out.
Same person to put you in can get you out. I love that. And is that normally yourself?
100%.
Yeah. I would say that every day of the week. So I hope other people, when I said that, did you feel the same way? And yeah, I agree. You always have to be accountable to yourself. So,
And the high performing, like if we want to say, so first of all, somebody had to decide what a high performing person looked like. Like, what is high performing? Is it based on their input? Is it based on their output? Is it a hybrid between the two? What are we comparing that to in order for, like this person is lower performing than this person? What are we basing that on? We have to have a measurement. There's got to be a barometer. There's got to be a measuring stick somewhere that comes into play for us to even be able to make the determination. Like, so who gets to make that determination? Somebody gets to make that determination, but they get to make that determination because the rest of us have agreed on what the measuring stick is. So now I can say, okay, if the measuring stick is that you make X amount of dollars per year, and if you're above that, then you're in the high performing category. Or the output of the job that you do is X compared to Y, then you're in the high performing category. So but that is arbitrary.
yeah.
Because it changes from one industry to the other. It changes it from one person to the other. It changes from one job description to the other. It's no wonder people get frustrated and feel like they're stuck in a loop.
So true.
Just another example. This is how it works. I mean, when I come into the world, I'm immediately measured. Like my height, my weight, my blood oxygen, the circumference of my head. There's all these things that are happening to me when I just came out of the womb and I'm sitting in a hospital and I'm being measured. And then I'm being measured against, because now it's like, oh, this is in the X percentile.
No, correct. Weight, height. Yep.
So we're born into this, right? There's the economy of striving is no different. Every economy has to have currency. But we are presented with that currency the moment we enter this human existence. We are immediately measured, and then we are measured against. And it started there. Tell me when it stops.
It's very interesting. So in this case, Ray, when you're talking about this, instead of people always, like you said, always trying to search for that magic formula outside of themselves, it always comes back to them. I mean, no matter what, there's always going to be those things that push you back, give you hints, pushing you back to yourself. And it's only when you have clarity and some kind of focus that you'll say, okay, that's where I got to go. And instead of keeping, reaching for these things outside of you that you think are going to make things better.
Yeah. The world wants us to believe that we cannot be any more imperfect than we are right now. I like to say this. I actually wrote about this in my book. But if yesterday's gone, I can do nothing about yesterday. I cannot change yesterday. I have no impact on yesterday. Tomorrow never gets here. I don't have any impact on tomorrow. The only time that I have to make any kind of a decision that produces any kind of an impact is right now. I can't be any more perfect than I am right now. That's the complete opposite of the thinking that keeps us all stuck in the perpetual loop.
Yep.
But tell me that thinking is not right.
Well, it's like, again, the survival mindset. So yeah, I had to learn the hard way many years ago, but yeah, it's learning to be in the moment for me, and when I'm in the moment, fear is reduced. And as I gotten older, obviously it's helped too, because I look back at things that used to bother me or keep me up at night, and I could care less. I don't lose any sleep over it at all. But yeah, it is so true. Like, and what I love what you're sharing is you don't have to wait till you get older to figure this out. You can figure it out a lot sooner, and the sooner you do, the better.
Now, unfortunately, a lot of people don't figure it out sooner because for some reason, and this was me, and then maybe this was you too, you tell me, but when I was younger, I almost fed off of the energy of the loop.
Oh, in a way I did too. No doubt about it. And until I realized how exhausting it was in conjunction with other things. And until I was able to get off that ride, I call it the roller coaster ride, but I didn't figure all this out until my early 30s, when I had a life-changing moment when my father passed away. And but yeah, those first 31 years was a lot of struggle internally. Even though I externally was doing well, everything else was not going well on the inside. I can tell you that.
And really, and I have a similar experience with death. I mean, so a lot of times it's experiencing that with somebody that you know really well, or somebody that's a really close to you. Those are the times when you really start to question, what is really important. And the funny thing about it is I've also seen it go the opposite way. And then that person gets farther along in their life and realizes that what they did at that moment just created another crutch.
Yeah.
And so the reality is if you're listening to this and you're thinking, well, I'm enjoying this, enjoy it. I'm not telling you to get off the roller coaster in the middle of it if you're having the time of your life. But at some point, you're going to realize that it's a roller coaster. And at some point, it's not going to be as fun anymore as You
Yeah.
think it is right now, and that's okay. But when you get to that point, remember that you heard somebody say what you're hearing them say today. Because I've yet to meet someone where that hasn't happened. We all want to be the exception. That's not realistic.
Oh yeah. No doubt about it. And what would you share, Ray? Like, people now hearing this and now, maybe they've heard it, but not and not to the level that you shared. And it's kind of like a maybe either a first time wake up call, maybe it's a reminder. And what is it? What is that? What do you share next with them? Like what are those next steps of, of trusting the process, so to speak, or trusting from within?
Well, what I like to challenge people with is this. So if what we've been doing hasn't been working, then why do we keep doing it? Like if you're stuck in a loop and you feel like you're stuck in a loop, then why are you asking for people that are also stuck in the loop for a way to get out of the loop? Find somebody that you can listen to who says, I'm not doing that anymore. I stopped doing it. And here's what life looks like on the other side of it. There's probably nobody you're going to meet that does it perfectly. This is a learning process,
Oh
just
yeah,
like anything
absolutely.
else.
Yep.
And it's especially because it's something that's so counterintuitive to our whole loop culture, our whole measurement culture. It's like, what do you mean I don't have to quote unquote win this?
Yeah.
So what I challenge people with is you really what it takes is it takes radical honesty with yourself. What is it? Like somebody filled that blank in for you. If I say to you, you're not blank enough, what's your blank? Everybody, you knew whether you wanted to admit it within the first 2 seconds after I said it or not, you know what is in your blank. And for some people, there's more than one thing in that blank.
Yes. Correct.
What if that's all wrong? What
Great
if,
point. Very good point. Please expand.
yeah, what if the reason why that blank was filled in was someone else's reason? And you know what I mean by that. Like
Mhm.
a lot of us are living the life that someone else thought we should live.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, think about parents, different cultures, education, all of it to kind of steer you towards, you know,
Yep.
being obedient.
There's another large segment that is living the life that is the opposite of what someone else thought they should live just to spite them. There's a very, very, very small percentage of the world that is living the life that they were meant to live with authenticity and purpose. You have to decide that blank is that blank was drawn by somebody who wanted to keep you trapped. Sometimes that was a younger version of you. So it's not always that I look at it and think, oh, there's a villain somewhere, because sometimes the villain is the one that you're looking at in the mirror. So honesty is the key. Start with honesty. How do I get to the point where I can trust myself enough that I no longer need to feel like I have to control everything around me?
Love that. Love that. So powerful. And I always like to say, focus on what you can control, and that's you, your communication, behavior, attitude, emotions, and action, how you respond versus react. It's happening for you, not to you. And let go of what you can't control, other people and situations. I know it's easy to say and do as another, but I can tell you, oh boy, did that take a weight off my back back in the day when that finally sunk in. Believe me.
Yeah. And it's a process, right? You know this as well as anybody. You are not, you haven't perfected it yet. I haven't perfected it yet. Like, the perfection isn't the goal. Right? The road to perfection is littered with only casualties. No one's ever made it to that ideal of perfection.
Yep.
That's different than the thought that I told you that I can't be any more perfect than I am in this moment, because this moment's all I have. I'm the one that gets to decide whether that word is perfect or imperfect.
Yeah.
But the pursuit of perfection is a completely different subject. We don't have time to break that down, but hopefully
we're gonna have you on another show. We want to elaborate on this. We'll definitely have you on another show to piggyback on what you share, because I know we are getting near the end, and I want to make sure that people get to know you, and where this conversation can continue with the audience before you come back on again. If you could just summarize some of the key points you made in about 30 seconds. Before you do so, I want to thank you personally for taking the time to be here, number one, and from our team here at Sustainable Success. And I'd like you, after you do for 30 seconds, to sum it up for, just let the audience know, how can they reach you? What are you up to, and anything you'd like to give them?
Okay, so what I will say is, what I would like to, how you can reach me is, my email is Ray, R-A-Y, at RUNtapped, A-R-E-Y-O-U, untapped.com. You can also look me up on LinkedIn. If you see the profile with anything with Start with Stop, which is the name of my book, that's how you know that it's the right Ray Gage. I have a app which is free that I would love for you to check out. If you check out my LinkedIn profile, you can find that app, and it is basically, it's giving you a place to start the process of getting yourself out of this perpetual loop. It's called Stop Fixing, Start Seeing. The recognition is on Chris's face immediately.
Oh, yeah. You got to start seeing, believe me. I love it.
And once you see it, it's really hard to unsee it.
And we're going to make sure all your contact information will be in the show notes. So everyone listening, all this information will be accessible for any of the different platforms you want to listen to this episode.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me.
Ray, thank you so much for being here. We can't thank you enough for being here. Just great information. And we highly encourage everyone to please reach out and connect with Ray. This is valuable information. We will have Ray back on another future show, but don't wait for the next episode. Reach out and connect. Let's continue the conversation. This is a great area that, with the right insight, can really help you to help yourself. So we encourage everyone to do so. And listeners, thank you again for joining us each and every week. Again, we are committed to bringing in subject matter experts like Ray in each and every week to help elevate you and your business to the next level, this sustainable success way. Till then, we hope everyone has a great rest of your week. We'll see you next Friday at the same time, 12 noon East Coast time, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Till then, take care.